I feel like if it couldn't have been anyone else but Pamela, so I had my heart set on that, and I wasn't going to take no for an answer.
And I think too, it's like things that are really meant to be, there's usually an obstacle. There's usually something about fate, something about, something that you have to get through. So that was our little friction, made it even more special.
And now, once the script does get to you, you're reading through it. What are you thinking as you could get to know this character? What kind of hit you the hardest about the script?
First of all, I've never seen a good script before, so this was a first. And I was reading it and I thought, oh my God, these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts. I could picture everything so clearly. And I just felt I said, oh, this is that thing when an artist really connects to a project and they have to do it and it's life or death. I was like, this is life or death. I gotta call Gia. And then I was pitching myself to her. She goes, no, you have the job. I said, no, but I really want to do this. I know I can do it. She goes, no, I know you can do it. That's why I've been trying to find you. So it was quite
We're both
funny.
selling ourselves to each other.
Yeah.
Now,
it was great.
what do you think it was about the script, about the character that you were specifically connecting to?
I just felt like this was an opportunity to put everything that's kind of happened in my life into a project that I could express myself in another way that was not just words, not just poetry, not just music, that this was a way for me to express myself, everything that I have inside. And as I was reading it, I just felt like the words were my own, even though this was written 11 years ago as a play and adapted to a screenplay. This felt like some strange moment that I was this character, and I thought I was the only one that could play this character. I know that sounds dramatic. Someone else could have played the character, but this was really important to me.
And I mean, obviously you have been in this business for decades, just like Shelley. I have gathered from the memoir, from the documentary, like there are things that, as you are in a business for many years, people may start to look at you differently, or they look at other people. Those are aspects of it that you saw as well, that you understood?
Well, there's definitely parallels, but I felt like that was just the jumping off point.
Yeah.
We have, a love of nostalgia and beauty and glamour, and understand the importance of this kind of art form too, and I really believed Shelley, this is her art, and how she wanted to be a mother and wanted to portray the importance of it. But yeah, that's also coming to terms with, I wouldn't say aging, I don't like that word, but just a different chapter in her life where she had to make some new decisions. It just was the right time, obviously, for me to do something like this. I felt like everything I'd gone through in my life was worth it, so I could put it in this character. So.
Now, when you and Gia both agree that you want to do it, she wants you to do it, all right, let's do it. Before the camera started rolling, my understanding is that there were a few things that you wanted to do to get ready first. I think it really speaks to your commitment to maximizing this opportunity. Can you share what some of the things you did were once you had the part?
About the not wearing makeup?
No,
Everything.
If you want, but I mean, you even went back to acting school, right?
Well, yes, no, I've taken acting lessons before. You would never know it. But, and I was really fascinated by it, but then I took another turn in my life, and I don't know if it was self-sabotage or what it was, but anyway, I went back into private acting classes for Broadway and for, I just love it, and I have so much respect for it, and it's really hard work, and I was able to put 1,000% into this role and transform, because the character is seemingly like me on many ways, but very different in others, so this was a complete transformation, and I was really excited to do that.
Absolutely. So Gia, in terms of doing this, there was not going to be any soundstage. First of all, there's not a big budget, but also you can't fake Vegas, right? So where did you guys work it out that you were going to shoot this and base yourselves during the only 18 days that this movie was made in? Where was that all going down?
It was really important to me to make this movie in an intimate fashion. I really wanted to keep my creative autonomy and have that collaboration and that family bond, which was also sort of the essence of the movie itself. So because we were small, it has its advantages. We were in the Rio Casino, which was, became a funny little home base for everyone. And we had the dressing rooms of this circus that was still kind of playing during the evening time, so we always had to move out and wrap kind of early. So it was a mad dash, but at the same time, because everyone was in it for the right reasons to just really make something artful, I think it just moved effortlessly. I joke that Jamie sometimes was moving gears. She was really just like setting the tone of how to get independent movies going. And we would go to Pamela's house, and she'd teach us how to cook vegetable soup and feed us well. And we had the Vegas community really supporting us. The dancers were part of Dita Von Teese's show, which she was doing a sort of burlesque homage to the original Jubilee show. So there was all these the original Bob Mackie clothes from the Jubilee show, which were also part of our movie. And they really helped kind of educate us on how do you put on the clothes properly, how do you take them off, what comes first, what comes last, and that whole level of dance in itself. And then the ex-Jubilee dancers came over and they talked to us about their experience and showed us the etiquette of how do you stand and why it's such an art form to them.
So Pamela, putting on any costume can probably help you to get into whichever character you're playing. In this case, these are very elaborate costumes and very specific occupation that Shelley has. Can you talk about what the costume brought as far as you were concerned, and maybe also just speaking to the real life Shelleys who just Gia just mentioned?
Well, there's definitely a choreography when it comes to quick changes with 50-pound costumes, and taking off the bracelets, and then the gloves, and then the hat, and then the dialogue, and then the mirrors, and then the bumping into each other, and all the feathers. And so it was quite a interesting choreography that Gia had to navigate and we had to navigate. But what an honor to wear Bob Mackie and to be able to. There was magic in the costumes for sure. There was something there, and it was just part of it. But I would invite the showgirls to my house, and we would have tea, and we'd talk about stories, and we would walk together and show the showgirl walk, and don't do this, do that. There's a lot of rules. And they are very insistent that they're not burlesque dancers. These are showgirls. This is different, and so we really want to make them proud. I can't wait for them to see the film and let us know what they think.
And Gia, talking about some of these longer shots in the film, I think that from what I was able to gather, you guys really were tinkering with things on the fly in order. First, you're shooting on film, right? But also. There's these long tracking shots down the hallways as they're going between places, and you would even adapt dialogue and things to fit the moment or to fit the length of. Can you explain?
Yeah, well, Autumn Durald is our cinematographer, and I'd been working with her since it was in my early 20s. She did Palo Alto, and it was really important to me to shoot this 16. Mostly just because I wanted to, but I like that texture and the grain, and I think there's so much of this kind of dichotomy of the analog versus the digital, and you would see this in the Vegas landscape as well, of so much of out with the old, in with the new. The Tropicana is being torn down, and now there's this big virtual sphere. So that represented something to me texturally, but I'm a big believer in letting the circumstances of the movie sort of dictate your choices. And because we were shooting film, we didn't have a big lighting budget, so therefore Autumn had to do a lot of handheld stuff. And some of our spaces always weren't as long as the dialogue was sort of scripted to be. So you have to kind of work with that. And I think that was really fun for me at least, with the cast, to kind of be like, okay, well, what's the core root of this scene really about? What are the lines that are really representative of what we're trying to say? And kind of do the dance together to figure out what needs to stay and what needs to go.
Something I wanted to ask you about, Pamela, is I don't think that's your voice, right? That's you've done things with your voice playing Shelley. What were you aiming to convey by adopting a slightly different voice?
Yeah, I ended up having a little bit of a lisp. It just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened. And I just thought this was the voice, the more broken voice, and it wasn't like I was trying to do anything. It just became that, and then it continued to be that.
Yeah. And acting today versus when you were starting out, does it feel different? Does the fact that, life different experiences of, like, do you feel that you enjoy it more, or you find it different in any way than it was?
Well, I mean, I took acting very seriously on Baywatch. No, I'm kidding. I was always trying to be the best, the best at what I was doing. It was my fantasy of what a model was and what an actress was, but I didn't have any training. I didn't come from an actor family. I didn't know anything about this world. I was just pretending to be these things. And I took some acting classes, I took some dance classes, some voice classes, and everyone always encouraged me, saying, oh, this is something, you can do this. And I thought, then I had kids, and then I got married, and then stuff happened, and whatever. It took a different turn. So when I talked about doing Broadway, I said, this is my opportunity to get back on the horse, do it the right way, and really commit myself. And it is very, very difficult. So you need to have 100% focus. So my kids were grown. I'm not with a crazy person yet. Who knows? But I mean, that was my focus was not there. So I have 1,000% focus now. I'm fighting for it, and I'm going to see it through to the end. And I feel like this is the beginning of my career.
Yeah. Received, as I said before you came out, like, there aren't many people who've had the chance to see it yet, but the people who have really responded in an exciting way. I mean, that world premiere at the Toronto Film Festival really popped. People were excited about the film, about your performance, all of it. I think all around the world, there have been other film festivals where you guys are being honored. You just got a Best Actress Gotham Award nomination, Pamela. So, I guess, as a final thing before we do a little presentation up here, I just wonder how you're processing all of this, and maybe we'll give Pamela a second, start with Gia, and then come to Pamela to give us your state of mind right now.
Oh, I mean, it was just so much fun to get to make it, and I feel nostalgic when all this is over, because I'm gonna have to find another reason why we get to hang out. But I feel like the greatest reward has been feeling everyone's feedback, and especially towards the well-deserved Pamela.
I mean, I'm just taking it day by day because I'm constantly blown away and really just grateful for the response and for the encouragement. And, it means a lot because, I feel like you do face a lot of rejection and in this business, you never really have anything tangible to hang on to. And so you're just dreaming all the time. And then when dreams collide and there's two people, it just works. The stars have to align. And people say, why didn't you do this earlier? It's like, there's a script, there's a director, there's a story, there's editing. There's lots of reasons why people are terrific actors. It isn't just the actor. It's so many parts of the puzzle that it's been just really wonderful to be a part of such an incredible crew and cast. So this was really lucky for me. And, never give up on your dreams. You never know.
That's right.
You never know.
Well deserved response to all this. And here to make it official, please welcome back from the film festival, Lauren Cohen.
Thank you. I just want to start out by saying the biggest thank you to Scott, Pamela, and Gia for being here in Miami in support of this absolutely beautiful film. They have the craziest schedules right now because everyone is, dying to show this film, and everyone is dying to have them here with the film. And so we're so grateful for them to come to Miami to do this. When I saw The Last Showgirl at its world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, I immediately fell in love with it, and I was so struck by the character of Shelley and Pamela Anderson's performance as Shelley. She gives such a delicate, sensitive, nuanced, heartfelt, emotional performance. And honestly, I don't think I empathized more with any character this year than I did with Shelley. And that's really a testament to her incredible, meaningful performance. She is an absolute icon, and we are so honored to present Miami Film Festival's Art of Light Award to Pamela Anderson.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much. I wanted to take him as well, so thank you all. Everyone probably really wants to go. I just want to thank, okay? Thank you to the Miami Film Festival for supporting our film, The Last Showgirl, and for this tremendous honor. I am touched at the outpouring of love and support. It is so appreciated. And I must say I'm feeling new feelings at this juncture, and I'm truly savoring them. Thank you to our brilliant director, Gia Coppola, for taking a chance on me. Thank you to the writer, Kate Gersten, who wrote this as a play 11 years ago, but seemed to be in my head even back then. And to the amazingly talented Showgirl family, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kiernan Shipka, Brenda Song, Billy Lords, and Dave Bautista, and Jason Schwartzman, who equally poured their hearts into this project. We all raised each other up, and we all made each other better. To my boys, Brandon, Thomas Lee, and Dylan Lee, who make me so proud every day, I'm such a lucky mom. This film was shot in 18 days on 16 millimeter. It was a labor of love. The stakes were high, like anything worthwhile. I'm truly proud of what we were able to achieve together. I only ever want to do my best. I could never imagine being here before you tonight while I feel I'm at the beginning of my career. This is a story of second chances. It's a story about a woman who has been discounted, discarded, and she's fighting back in her own way and rethinking her choices in life. Shelley is representative of so many of us, working against the odds to do what she loves. Shelley's far from perfect. She's messy, makes mistakes, wears her heart on her sleeve. She's a romantic, a dreamer, and sees the best in people, but is not a pushover. Yes, there are parallels in a mythological sense, but we make very different choices in our lives. Like the scene at the door. I would have invited her in and made pierogies with her. I'm very fortunate I've had this unique life to draw from. It all makes sense to me now. This movie came at the right time, and it saved me. I'm still learning. I'm trying to be less self-deprecating and have a less knee-jerk, shy reaction to the praise I'm receiving as an actress. So let me say out loud that I'm worthy. I don't take this for granted. I'm elegant, humble, and grateful, but I'm hungry, and I will see this through to the end. Wishing you so